Hey guys, so if you subscribe to my channel and you regularly watch my videos, then you will know that my last two reviews of Lalique White and Authenticity Perfumes, the two of their fragrances, were not really all that positive. I don't like doing those reviews so much. Of course, I like to review fragrances that I'm passionate about, and so that I can share that with you guys and talk about it. But I do those other reviews that are more critical, just to add to our kind of community database, right? I tend to review fragrances that in my mind have a lot of potential and either blow me away or disappoint me. And sometimes I review fragrances that I realize are overhyped, and so it's kind of weeding those out. But today I have some good news. I'm reviewing a fragrance that is totally worthy, in my opinion, of any hype, and actually it's not so hyped up. There are a couple reviewers that talk about this fragrance, but it's not one that I've seen reviewed extensively. It's Mercedes-Benz Club Black, and I was always kind of hesitant about purchasing car fragrances. I used to have Bentley Men Intense, but I don't know. It's a little bit of bias or prejudice. I guess I sort of thought they would be lower quality. But anyway, this one caught my attention. I was a bit, this is talked about, you'll probably know, as a vanilla fragrance. And so I was a bit hesitant at first to buy it because I thought it might be too sweet. And if you know my taste, I don't like fragrances that are overly sweet. And in particular, I'll preface the review of this by saying that I'm not the hugest fan of vanilla because it tends to be, or of gourmand scents. But vanilla tends to be used a lot in gourmand scents, right? It has this very edible quality. But here, it's different, right? And it's really, from what I've smelled, it's really hard to make scents that are really nice smelling boozy or leathery or sweet, that combination really well. And this is the fragrance that does that so well. To me, this is the scent that Mugler Pure Malt should have been, right? Or that's what I really was after when I first bought Pure Malt. This kind of boozy, sweet scent. Here there's this kind of smoky aspect that really balances everything out. It's a lot smoother here. It just feels a lot richer, smells a bit more luxurious and smooth, and than Pure Malt, which is a bit more candied and almost a little bit medicinal at the same time. And there's another fragrance that this reminds me of, and it's Parfum de Marly Herod, right? And before we get into the specific smell of this, I want to let you guys know that I enjoy wearing this almost as much as Herod. So if you're somebody who likes that fragrance, Parfum de Marly Herod, then I would definitely look into this fragrance. It's a similar kind of scent profile. Herod, people talk about it as being a cherry tobacco kind of scent. Actually, it's a vanilla signature. The sensuality of Herod, in my opinion, is coming from the vanilla with the incense. And that combination is not so unique, but the way that's done there is unique. Of course, in Herod, you have other notes like cinnamon, which make it smell a bit different than this. But this is an equally nice experience. So the perfumer of this is Olivier Cresp, and we'll get into this a bit more, but he has his own line of fragrances, Acro, which I'll pop up on the screen so you can see it. It's they're focused on addictions, and there's one scent there I was interested in. It's the coffee scent called Awake. That it's a kind of a gourmand scent as well, but I really liked it because it had such a realistic kind of roasted smoky coffee scent that was a bit sweet at the same time, but just so realistic. And there was that smokiness, and it's interesting, I find the same kind of smoky quality in here as well, a similar kind of sweet mixing with the dark kind of roasted feel. In here, it's probably coming from the incense and the benzoin. So if you look at the notes of Club Black, very simple actually composition, right? Top note, the only thing listed is bergamot. And then in the base you have vanilla and benzoin, and the heart you have incense. There is a listed note of jasmine, but I don't really get any kind of floral qualities in here. It's listed, so it obviously must have been used. I think that you know, it's a testament to how smoothly blended the whole fragrance is, right? There's a, you know, it's intriguing that there's jasmine in here, but it's really all about the vanilla, but it's not an overly sweet or overbearing kind of fragrance. So let me tell you a bit more about the scent. And mention quickly, I do like the bottle. It's like it matches the car theme perfectly, right? The smooth, rounded silhouette. It's a really nice one to have in the collection. So nice, man. And by the way, you know, there are a couple reasons why you should look into buying this. It's not always readily available, but it is available right now for about $60 with the deodorant stick at Fragrance Net. So that's why I ended up buying this. So right away, this type of fragrance reminds me of much more expensive scents. So again, I mentioned Herod, but also reminds me a little bit of like Nishane's Ani, right? Which is a well-known vanilla scent as well. In that there is a initially fresh kind of opening. You know, again, I don't like fragrances that are too sweet, but this one is surprisingly wearable. And not only is it smooth, but it's, how should I say, there is no overbearing kind of sweetness, because initially you get that bergamot, giving it a little bit of tartness to balance the vanilla, similar to if you've ever smelled Ani, right, where you have the fruity aspects combining with vanilla. Ani is a bit different with the spices, but it's the same type of fresh opening, right? So you can tell it's sweet, but it's not a candy kind of sweetness. It's not like Versace Eros kind of sweetness. It's well balanced, right, with this tartness and the sweetness. And then pretty quickly, you know, right away you will get this smokiness, and that to me is the best part about this fragrance, and that's really, you know, the heart of this fragrance. There is incense, right? And you know, incense could in fragrances can refer to a lot of things, but this type of incense, right, is again, I referenced Parfum de Marly Herod because that uses incense in this a similar kind of way, right? It's a similar kind of incense feel. There is nothing churchy about this incense. You know, if you have incense that's like frankincense, olibanum, it will give you an Oriental Middle Eastern feel, right? A really strong kind of pungent note. But incense like this reminds me more of, it just adds kind of a roastiness, roasted quality to the whole fragrance, which is very full-bodied because of this rich vanilla, right? And I think the benzoin also, well known also to have a vanilla scent, is a bit different too than just pure vanilla. It makes it a little, you know, it adds that resinous quality that makes it smell smoother. It makes it smell not just like a vanilla extract, right? There is a more rich quality to the scent. Yeah, and you know, I think the incense actually mixing with the woody notes in the base, that's actually what's giving you this smoky scent. This is the kind of smokiness that you get from notes like Gaiac wood as well, so or even oud, right? There is a rich woodiness, and I think that's what makes this scent stand out. It's not, yes, it's a vanilla heavy fragrance, but you know, someone like me, I'm not so into a super sweet vanilla scent. Really, I love this because it's so wearable. It has this kind of, you know, it's sort of a fragrance that wraps you up, right? And it's gonna be smelled, you know, really by people around you, but it's not gonna be overpowering, right? There's nothing that's offensive about this kind of scent. It's not too much, if you know what I mean. In fact, the first thing my girlfriend said when she smelled this, I didn't tell her what it was that, ooh, that smells expensive, that smells luxurious. That was really the first description. And that's really what I get to. It just feels like a really smooth, well-made scent. There is ambroxan listed also. And again, a testament to how kind of well everything is blended. it doesn't feel like a Ambroxan scent, but I do think that is probably, I mentioned in the beginning, there's this kind of tartness, and it wears kind of fresh in the beginning. It just feels so wearable. I think that Ambroxan is also adding to that, right? It has this, infuses a little bit of this metallic touch, right? And I hope that's I don't mislead you by calling it metallic. This is still a vanilla, boozy vanilla scent, right? The smokiness, the woody notes, all of that is giving off this kind of booziness, and I like that it doesn't go away. This boozy quality, it just stays there. This continues to be a smoky, boozy vanilla. But the Ambroxan just is, I think, adding a freshness, right? That makes this wearable. I mean, it's really still, we're in the heat of summer and still working. I haven't been wearing it outside, but it's one that is fresh enough that coming out of the shower, I want to wear it for the evening, right? When you want to just kind of cozy up, this is just an amazing fragrance. And I think really good value for money. I mean, the scents that I compared this to, right? We're talking fragrances like Ani and Herod, right? That's what comes to mind when I think of this scent, which tells you sort of what ballpark we're playing in here. All right, guys, so that's my review of Club Black. Absolute recommendation, and actually a few times, I just recommend you guys blind buy. This is one, right? Just because it's might not be available later, and also it's a good enough scent, right? Not just for price, but just the scent is so good as this kind of gourmandish leaning scent that's still, that's kind of masculine, smoky, luxurious smelling. Really good value for money. So there you go, and I'll see you in the next review. Bye.